Yo, if they trying to make me crack, yo, if they trying to make me out the secret to how they get the caramel filling inside the Cadbury milk chocolate bar, man. If I need you now, if I need a lifeline, man. If these kids are trying to beat it out of me, Debbie, goddamn, what should I do? I'm here at Market Lane inside Catelli's, and they do have the Cadbury milk chocolate bar. So if I'm able to uncover the secret today of how they get the caramel inside the caramel bar from Cadbury, so I might end up like Bradbury or fucking Milton Bradley, yo. So you can see here upside down and not, it's 10 grams of fat, 15%. So, I know the Asian women, they always try to convince me to endorse sushi to be on the Canada's food guide, but sodium being at 45 micrograms or whatnot, and I could tell you, so I just got my espresso shot. I was talking to the espresso boy shot maker, and he just told me about the idea, the fabulous idea of charging $1 million for a beer in the playoffs. And if I was the first one to buy the $1 million beer in the playoffs, if I did chuck it at a ball player, at least I would explain the thing to consider when opening a caramel bar. If you consider it like a frog, like a dissection from biology class or science class, whatever it was in grade 11 or 9 or whatnot. So this is going to be my frog. I'm not going to need all the tools that are used. Managed to remove the Cadbury milk chocolate bar from the wrapper, and I placed it on a doily napkin from Catelli's, courtesy of Catelli's, inside Market Lane in Woodbridge, Ontario, Canada. By breaking the bar in 3 sections, one line, a double line, 2 double lines. So I'll explain my breakage selection at a later time. But here at Catelli's in Market Lane, March the 2019. To find some sort of marking. So if the chocolate is layered, so if they laid the bottom layer of the chocolate, if they poured caramel on top of the chocolate and sealed it up and sealed the deal with heat. So if you add heat as an adhesive, and so after the heat melted the chocolate as a sort of a seal, if they let it cool, it solidifies, and bada boom, bada bing, add the wrapper surrounding the chocolate for protection and support. And if there's more behind the secret of how to get caramel inside the chocolate, the milk chocolate, those are my initial premonitions or findings or prognosis of some sort. So there might be more to it than just the layer insertion of the caramel inside the chocolate. I'm not even sure. I haven't been into the news or whatnot, but I'm not sure if they already solved the mystery or if it already made it to the mainstream media. But as far as I've been kept out of the loop, 2019, as far as I'm concerned, they still haven't found the secret, because I've been hounded like I've been holding the secret in my whole life. So people have followed me around, tried to kill me, had terrorist assassination plots, people following me, smashing into the back of my Sentra before Game 6 of the Calder Cup of the Marlies games. I'm getting run off of jobs, can't hold down a steady career, no income, overdraft, non-sufficient funds, $8,000 to $1,000 a month. Right now, if I'm trying to break inside the chocolate, I don't want to use a plastic knife from Catelli's, causing additional expenditure to the overall budgetation of the establishment inside Market Lane. So I'll attempt to use my fingers and maybe wipe off excess or melted chocolate with a doily of some. Actually, the cappuccino maker gave me indication that if I do use a plastic knife, he will attempt to cut my balls off, and because of the ridicule he'll be facing for unnecessary cost being divvied out for scientific exploration purposes for the sake of this. I will use a plastic knife as part of this demonstrationing to break inside the chocolates, and so we could further our investigative initiative and see what we see inside and what we could find after opening up this I know people give me a hard time for paying a $2.70 for Cadbury, whatever they call it, Cadbury cream bar or whatnot. So, yeah, but where else could I get the quiet time without being distracted and being invaded and getting the ability to bring you this coverage, without paying too. So I breaketh the bar, biblically speaking, and you can see the caramel oozing out, and you can see there is a proof of a form of layerage. I don't know if you could see it, but I do. I think evidence is present, so I could honestly conclude the layer. Or they could seal the chocolate as hollow with hollow pockets, and they could use a needle insertion of some sorts and infill. Or they could be using filling nozzles similar to the pharmaceutical department and SVN2 filling side when they're filling fluticasone. Also, I guess my pharmaceutical manufacturing diploma from Pharma Medical Science College of Canada would also enable me to gain employment in chocolate factories or cosmetologist or cosmetic manufacturing of some sort. So we'll be trying the chocolate now, in fact, to bring to you whether or not Mikey does like the Cadbury milk chocolate. So you can see caramel inside the chocolate, and you can see chocolate on the outside. So if I hit this button here, if I, it smells pretty good. The problem with this experimentation right now is I'm not in the mood to eat no fucking chocolate right now after, not eating for so long, losing all that weight, from going to Good Life and shit. So I'm not looking forward to eating all this fucking chocolate at this present time, but I feel like, what the fuck am I going to do with it at this point? So fuck, man. This is some fucking shit. I was going to tell us, there's fucking starving kids in Ethiopia. I don't mean to refer to them as fucking, although they seem to be doing a lot of fucking, and from the videos we can see, and they don't wear any clothes, and they shit and piss in the same water that they drink. So what do you think? Eat this or not, yo? This little bitch-ass packy guy walking his daughter in here, I would offer her some of this chocolate. I'm sure she would love to try it out, but he's being such a little punk, little bitch-ass packy, motherfucking skunt bitch-ass, dick-sucking homo faggot that's really pussy and feminized and shit like this. So, fuck him. In closing, like the whatever he is, man, trying to feed his daughter lies that I'm crazy, right? Because I'm interested in how they put caramel in the chocolate bar, man. That's so crazy, man. Not investigative or showing interest or doing work relevant to my field. Put a guy like that at Apotex instead of me. He's going to be lazing around on the job, just collecting money, not earning it, just goofing around. Not goofing around, but privately, when no one's looking. At least any goofing, the minimal goofing I do, at least be public. This guy does everything behind closed doors, like what they call guys who do things behind closed doors. And also, if they raise the price of chocolates, this would cause people to enjoy it more, similar to beer at playoff games in Rogers Center. So they would be less likely to throw it on opposing players on nationally televised American television stations during the playoffs. Overall, people that are being gluttonous over particular items of food or beverage, they should skyrocket the prices. So if people are saying I was being gluttonous over sports supplements or the thing I use, when in fact I was not. I was using it for divine purposes of improving physicality with so if people want to hide in me lies of what they're being gluttonous over, and in fact that those prices should be escalating. If they want to hide the truth in them of things I was not being gluttonous over, and in fact those things had prices elevated and risen. This is the society we live in today. People hide their wrongs in me and all their crimes in life, and they want to hide everything in me, when in fact I have nothing to hide. I've committed no felonies, no crimes whatsoever, and I have to be looked upon like I'm the criminal, I'm the liar, I've done all their wrongs. So apparently, this is where we're at, right? I maybe from the occasional distracted driving, which I had no idea they changed the rules of. So, and people don't talk to me, they run from me. And so, what can you do, man? If they want to charge me for that, I could defend it in court. It's not going to be a hard thing to fight. If I love it when little Gina mommies come in here acting all innocent, man. Like, you know, they all hidden, their secrets all hidden and stuff, man. They don't want to let out secrets, man. Like, who the hell care, man? Let your damn secrets out so people can help you get where you should be in life, man. You scared of being successful? You scared of being someone important or significant in the world and stuff like this? Essentially, they just let it go on too long, so, you know, they don't want to have to explain because it requires work or effort of some sort, and this is something that they're not capable of doing, being big, fat, and lazy, and, they deserve the right to show us that being big, fat, and lazy can prove successful. Like, yeah, I still have a little bit of this left, so I'm gonna flip the screen one more time. So, I'm here again, so, I'm gonna cut this shit and put this in my mouth, live on fucking camera and shit. So, hold on. Any minute now, just, so I'm gonna try this one more time again. There's, the chocolate's now in focus. I'm gonna flip the screen, and, I'm doing an elevatationing of the screen right now, holding it at a distinctive angle that's relevant to modern times and society and culture as we know it. So if it's the end of the world as we know it, and then try this again, flip the screen one more time, and if it's the end of the world as we know it, if I feel rhymed or signed or dimed out to the po-po, if you find me up in Soho, dodging policemen as they chase. Momentarily, I'm going to flip the screen again. You can call me Flip or whatnot. I'm going to elevate the screen at a proper distinct angle. So, here we are again. So, I have the chocolate. So, this time, okay. Okay, so, hold on. I'm going to flip the screen, put this down for a sec, and, okay, here we go. So that in fact was phenomenal. Yeah, I know you could say, how phenomenal it was. Makes you not even want to wipe the caramel dangling off your face beard or whatnot. So it is at this price at least, at $2.70, man. I'm gonna fucking let it dangle, man. So accordion music is being played inside Catelli's right now, and everything is moving accordion to plan right now. If I could just find the Mr. Noodle, and if I can get salt shaking inside the soup or not. I think there's enough salt, salt enough. So I'm gonna pick up the spicy noodle chicken soup here. I know at 59 cents you're saying, but this other, what are the extremities, this other offerabilities, or what do you call that, uncalculated things that are offered that are not, I refuse the opportunity to jump line in a haste, reducing the race, the possibility of muscular strain of some sort of, or muscular or physical disability that would have to be seek treatment for at a mental hospital or whatnot. So I'm gonna stay here. I got my Milos Ranik right here. So if you elevate the ball and you do some tapping, if a gat start clapping in the park for motherfuckers smoking reefer on the sideline, if you're behind time, if you sign, fine. I don't give a fuck, So this is me and my Milos, so I'm ready to take the tennis world by storm here, and I'm just getting warm, just like Muhammad Ali. They called me, blackish or something like this. So, if I'm getting ready, if I'm eating spaghetti, any minute now I'm gonna start playing tennis. You never know when it's gonna happen, man. It could happen any time, man. I could just show up randomly at any tennis court, any place, any country, any city. If you think I'm just down to be Mace and the next Pete Diddy, if I don't even fucking my sister in the end zone to rush to do my laundry so she can say she washes my doo-doo stained underwear. If I could show you right now, I'm going to show you momentarily exactly what my underwear looks like, and you tell me or not if they've been doo-doo stained, man. If you catch my Tell you something first about this thing they're calling doo-doo stain. If my underwear would... Do you know how hard I work in wiping of my ass? Would I allow a doo-doo stained underwears to enter the laundry basket in the first place? What am I, a laundry basket assassin? Like, am I a Creed? Here's a shot of my undergarment pants that are here on being hung out to dry. These are non-doo-doo stained. Would I invest in underwear like Hilfiger or Hanes or like high quality under stuff to doo-doo stain them when I bought them myself? I know, people were trying to not let me know about front to back or back to front or wiping a pattern or knowledge. So now I incorporated the front to back and back to front, working my way in gradually. But I used to even dampen the toilet squares. And even if you rinse a couple times and then if you turn your back towards the shower, if you spread your cheeks a little bit and let the water run through the crack of your bum part, you can rinse off any excess in that manner. So don't. If you did a few wiping with toilet paper squares of fecal matter from inside internally, if you did that prior to a shower and then you face the shower your back towards the shower stream, and if you bend over and spread, and you could do a toilet square test after where you wipe after rinsing internally in the shower, and you can notice and see no doo-doo stains on the toilet paper means that was a well rinsed rinsing, so no need to wipe any further. Here's how many squares of toilet tissue you can save by rinsing internally in your bum in the shower area. Then who's the greatest of all time at saving paper, man? So I save up. I save toilet squares. I save trees. I'm the only non-ho left from my generation of individuals from 1977 or beyond, or even previous to that. If that's any significance, it doesn't really matter. It matters moving forward what you're going to accomplish in the future until your untimely death or your resurrection in Christ, or Jesus comes back if he doesn't, if he does. This is a motherfucking young punk pulling up to the gym, fucking around in his fucking Audi, fucking driving his fucking father's fucking Audi, fucking with his friends, fucking dropping one off at the fucking gym, man. This is fucking what fucking society is breeding today. Yeah, if I try to add some honors into my fucking accent portfolio, man, this is fucking making me more holio at least, So this is like cornholio, So this is what I go olio, So if I oli oxen and I'm free. If verbal assault is what it says on Wikipedia or not, man. If it's like forcing an argumentative point to be received or not, if verbal assault doesn't, if it's not received well by an unwanted recipient, if sitting on a seat or and releasing flatulence on a seat, if that could be considered assault on a seat, if that seat would sit on you and it flatulated. This could constitute a form of assault as well. How can you prove the atom of... if you're doing rideshare and say a passenger enters your vehicle, if they release flatulence on your car interior while seated, is this if this constitutes of assault of a form that where have you released flatulence lately? He without flatulence, if they would cast the first stone or not. So, where have you been flatulating, man? So, don't accuse me of flatulating. So we've all have flatulated and assaulted either a car seat of some sort or airspace in the work environment. So essentially he without flatulence, let them cast the first stone, man. If we've all have flatulated and come short of the glory of fresh air or car seats or the glory of the Lord, if this is little Fabrizi here, so if you let me freshen the air, even if you've left your room a little messy, so we've all have left our rooms messy previously and fall short of if cleanliness is next to godliness or whatnot. So so sometimes you gotta maybe So this in this instance, if we should put sushi on the Canada Food Guide or not, if we could do justificationing, if it's already there in the context, where grains or rice is, so in a sense, do we have? In fact, fish and rice, it's on the food guide, man. So it's already there. So if we specifically put a picture of a sushi a dish or some sort of roll, Furthermore, we've all had dirty sneakers and come short of the code of conduct policy of the gym of having non-indoor shoes inside the facilities at the rec center or Good Life. So why condemn the guy that doesn't have clean sneakers that didn't get his? So if the girl gets in your rideshare vehicle, if she feels you're not interested in her, something like this, and you're focusing too hard on your work, if she busts gas inside your vehicle, if you shoot a shot of yourself, your facial reaction to prove she assaulted you. I've been suspicious of women previously doing a rideshare previous season, and I was suspicious if she busts gas in there or not, because then she'll go and spread rumors that she busted gas inside your Sentra, and then no one wants to get inside or whatnot. So then it's saying I put lifesavers to freshen up. People, if you're lifting 95 pounds plus the weight of this bar, I don't know if it's universal weight or not, there could be a remnants of ass sweatation on the seated region of the pad. This looks like wipings, like some sort of cleansing of the gym seat. So maybe if you lift lighter weights, it wouldn't necessitate the wiping of. So you can see by the reaction of my elevationing of my quadricep muscle region, elevating the lifting mechanism of the calf raise, the calf raising thingamajig here, the seated calf raise. It's a phenomenal, you can see just from having my, if you can get focus in here, you can see just by having my butt cheek region seated on the seat, it was it dried the resonance or the residue from the wiping from the previous user of the seat. So whether or not I have a emanating comedy love or love for doing comedy skits or love for comedy in general, if it's neither here nor there, if I do in fact not have a love for comedy, then why would I place this bottle strategically in the? If you're wondering how I was able to wear the same pant several times or several weeks in a time without wash and having it not smell like bum stink, this is a phenomenon that could be explained simply with simplistic and diagnostic. I gotta leave my workout early because I got this from Key West. The vendor said it used to belong to Gandhi, so I mean. It's kind of equivocal. It's kind of like a Jerry Garcia in a pouch to me, since I was a big Half-Baked fan. So I'm gonna get this home safely. Excuse me, you work here? You're just working in food, like in reference to the Canada Food Guide. Like, do you think it's they're accurate that you need all these foods all the time, like to maintain a healthy, balanced diet?
I think so.
Okay, thank you. Picking up this lactose-free, ultra-filtered milk just so I fought less at the gym. If you walk confident, if you're a free agent, if your availability is on the table, Does that mean like young ladies have to go goo goo gaga off you because there's a lack of people availability? Doing advertisationalizing of being available if they want to increase availability of male callers. If I were to co-sign on that notion that increased numbers of men should increase their... I told the checkout girl at the grocery store that I was buying the lactose-free milk to reduce the possibility of releasing a flatulence or farting uncontrollably or just at random. Last time, it shocked the gym. I meant the deployment of fartationing at the gym. It happened the other day as I was excited by the availability of the calf raise machine, as people seem to swarm the calf raise machine in hopes of being the next Arnold or whatnot. So, so I'm not sure if she bought my Riesling or not. I don't know what was to buy, but I think she was believing the lie of some sorts that I was buying lactose-free milk to show off in a sense, or to gain her trust that she could count on me to be faultless. Since it does show the young lady that I do have concerns and cares to the well-being of others, and unexpected flatulence could be considered a form of assault, emotional assault of sorts. So I guess if the grocery clerk, airhead type girl, if she's not much of a threat, or if she's a threat, if she's like, well, she is pretty much threatening me that if you think you're gonna find another airhead grocery checkout girl, if you think airhead grocery checkout girls grow, so she told me that if you think airhead grocery clerk checkout girls grow on trees, then go ahead, walk right out. Don't explain what the hell I'm thinking that I couldn't express myself just because I'm so airhead. But look, baby, goddamn. So listen here, you airhead checkout grocery girl. If you thought I was buying lactose-free milk just to make myself look better in front of your pretty eyes and beautiful long hairs and finely manicured nails and fingers and such, he was like, you know how many grocery bags I have to pack to look this airhead for you at this grocery checkout? And you just do this explanationing of why you're getting the lactose-free milk and the vamoose? You think you could just walk up and tell me you're buying lactose-free milk to prevent the possibility of fartationing at Al Palladini Center? Cause your homeboy shamed you or whatnot, or he couldn't believe the possibility of fartationing? Let me tell you something here. If you think it's a walk in the park, or this or it's an absolute guarantee that I could look this beautiful again for you next time if I was fortunate to see you in the future, it's no guarantee. Look at here. What if I get a blemish and I'm blemished and ashamed next time you come to this checkout? We're through. This is it. I quit this job. I'm moving on. I'm giving up. I'm gonna cave. I'm in a rave. If I'm in a slave, or if a slave is in me, if I'm sin-free, if I'm win-free, if you get a call, you get a call, you get a call, if you get Leaf tickets, if we all had Leaf tickets, if we all had wickets to play cricket, and if she thought there's no chance in hell I had a car to drive off in, if she thought that's the only reason I was buying 2 items of grocery and without a bag, so I can show off my lactose-free bottle of milk to pick up some other random airhead getting off a bike. I guess if she knew I had a car, she wouldn't have been interested in me at all, so she just was hoping, or she believed a lie that I had no car and I was walking home, so She thought that I needed her to help me obtain a car, but if I have a car already and I don't need her help in obtaining a car, then she like, if you're an unemployed star or a financially challenged star, if I needed someone to help me go far, if she wasn't the one, if she wasn't the trap-loving or trap rapper girl I needed to endorse my musical talents or abilities. But if she's like, you don't need to endorse trap music or need to justify Sonny Nicole's Bringus' endorsement of trap rappers that has failed miserably in her selectioning of what to endorse and what not to endorse, proving she does not know what to endorse. She has poor selection. If she'll endorse anything, that results in increase in her finances, so pretty much she has a price that can be bought out by just about anyone. If I'm in the end zone for just some random Netflix girl that has a price to anyone. So if the devil's lying to companies that I'll pretty much endorse anything, or any company that throws a $5 bill on the table, try me out, man. Make me an offer I can't refuse, and watch me refuse it. If you choose it, if you lose it, if you abuse. If I look like an endorsing hoe, if you might say, you think I'll sell my body, sell myself short to endorse something contrary to my morality, if Michael Jordan endorses so many products and he loves them all and they're so phenomenal, ask him on the real, behind the scenes, if about all the products he endorses, if he actually likes none of them at all, if he actually hates them or what they represent, or the people behind leading those companies. So, if you're endorsing a bunch of shows on Netflix that have no point, if the shows are just like, oh, it's entertaining, so what's your point, man? If I have the only show on Netflix, if it's on Netflix or not, if I have the only show that has a point, and if I just kind of, if it kind of skipped my mind, the last shot of my series, my point of what the series was, in my 30-second drive over here from up the street, as I'm in the driveway of my home right now, as you can see. So, if I'll remember my point or not, I would suggest I would remember the point. It's this whole thing is whether the devil, the lies, if he's saying I don't deserve to remember the point of the show, but I will once I get up into my room area. So this is my front porch here. So this is my porch light. So if I go like this, flip the screen, and if here I am right here, wondering what the last shot of this season of Typical Day in the Life. This is my front porch here. If this is my light, if I flip the screen by hitting this button, which I'll do momentarily, and I will move closer to the light so I get a sufficient amount of lighting to lighten my face, and if you take my place or take my chase, if you essentially what I'm saying, if I'm staying, if I'm praying, if I'm obeying, and if I'm an obedient servant, if I'm undeserving, if I'm fervent in prayer and effectual, not so if I'm deserving and a servant, if I'm fervent in prayer, if I'm not homosexual, if I'm conceptual, if I'm conceptualizing my grand finale, if I'm conceptualizing the grand finale, the final shot. If you think I'm waiting for the Leafs to win a Stanley, have a conversation with Elizabeth Manley. If I'm not manly enough, if I'm efficient, if I'm not deficient, I'm deserving to remember the point of my show. If I'm slow, if I'm not a hoe, homosexual, Do I deserve to be joyful? Um, if that indeed is my strength. Okay, so here is the point of this show. If you're not willing to fight for full maturity, if you're just racing through life, and if everything is just a blur to me, if I'm so high and weeded out, if I'm seated, if I have the breastplate of righteousness, if I'm fighting him to reach the full stage of maturity, if the airhead grocery checkout clerk, if she's not fighting to reach maturity before she gets slammed in, fool me once, you can't fool me twice. Basically, I'm fighting for the right not just to party, but to depart, society from homosexuality as an excuse to have joy. Or fool me once, you can't fool me again, or something like that. So, uh, I want to reach full maturity before letting myself slide into opposite sexually based female. Uh, or if she's a she-male, if she got my letter in an email, um, if we so is it okay to be fully mature before facing having to face sexual pressurization from older people? So if I'm under arrest for fighting for the right to be fully mature before picking a partner to engage in my first session or bout of coitus, you know, if they annoyed this. So is it okay is to be fully mature before being forced to make such a critical, crucial decision in your life? It's insignificant. It's of inimportance. Um, you know, it's just like Tim Hortons. Yeah, if I was so confused by the jealousy, if I just spit my heart out, if they were acting like my spit didn't have a purpose or a point, if I was like, what spit, you know, even the spit I spit towards his direction, man, that didn't have a point either.